Hey, Taurus, Mel, Intuitive Coach here, excited to bring in your March 2025 career and money reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Taurus, welcome. I am hearing here that you are on the precipice of something quite magical, quite incredible here. But it feels like there's been a bit of a suspension or a slump. And Spirit is saying the slump isn't about lack of creativity, but more about shedding an old way of doing things. There's a need for a new approach, a new perspective, a new angle that feels more expansive than restrictive. And I feel like this is the month where you're working in a new way, because another message that's coming through is use your creative angles, but the word angles turned into angels. Use your creative angels. And that's so interesting because that's part of your outcome here, as I said that. So let's see where your money and career and abundance is going this month. You have Einstein showing up right off the bat. Work smarter. Some of you are in need of a mental health day, or to take a step back from trying to create something. All right, maybe it's time to detox from what you are creating or what you are trying to, consume even. It feels like there's a break required or needed, because that could help you gain that new approach that feels more expansive. So working smarter, getting back to a place of mental balance instead of mental restriction. Let's expand the mind instead of restrict it here. Are you making it harder than it has to be? Sometimes the solutions are simple. Sometimes we complicate the heck out of things, right? We as humans are complex creatures, and we do. We tend to overthink things. We tend to try to rationalize. And I'm feeling here that some of you, there's a pressure to meet a deadline, or you've been waiting on a return, whether this is a return of an investment, it could be a contract or a promotion or even a settlement. It feels like you've been sitting in this pressure cooker ready to explode, in a sense, for some of you. And Spirit is saying, take a step back, right? Mental health day. There's no shame in that. I take them quite often to regroup, to disconnect in order for me to be at my best. Perhaps it's time to clean house personally and professionally, to start with a clean plate or palette. Okay, start with a clean plate or palette. Stick to basic needs when it comes to spending. Stick some money aside. Some of you have been setting money aside for something. Maybe this is taxes. It could be your savings accounts, your retirement account. You may be building up towards something. Maybe that is what the return on your investment is all about, and you're working smarter about it. You may be looking at your finances, what you spend your money on, how much you are saving, maybe even consolidating, working with a financial advisor here, or a professional, or just training or teaching yourself how to be more mindful or more diligent with your money. Excuse me. There could even be a class coming in here for you, because you have the teacher showing up. Taurus, you have the ability to motivate others. You really do. You have the ability to motivate them to uncover their true potential. But sometimes you forget that you are your biggest teacher, your biggest role model as well. So in the meantime, you're teaching yourself things. Some of you, you've learned much about money in this lifetime. Taurus is the mindset of money, right? I have Taurus North Node, and this is about putting what you've learned into practice, possibly from prior lifetimes as well. For those of you that are familiar with your North and South Node, You may want to look that up or really embrace that if you're not familiar with it. North and South Node energy is coming in here for you. I'm not talking about the collective. Right now we have Pisces North Node, Virgo South, which yes, it's significant. It plays a role here in our lives, but I feel like it's your personal North and South Node that I'm getting here. Because the North is where you are going. It's what you are here to accomplish in this lifetime. And the South Node is where you've been. It's your skills and your talents from even previous lifetimes. It is what we tend to fall back on at times. Consider careers in teaching, coaching, mentorship, or being a motivational speaker. I also see here, because she's next to the child, some of you could work with children, or you work with your own inner child. Maybe you've been healing your inner child in a very big way. And that has been mentoring you in order for you to bring in the abundance that you've been wanting for yourself, for your family. You have an offer. You have an offer showing up. It says the universe will meet all of your needs. Call upon your spirit guides and angels to assist you. Wow. There's using your creative angels here. I love that for you. Now, bottom of the deck, you do have this precarious energy here. So this tells me that you may have been pushing through. You may have felt a lot of heaviness or a lot of stress where you've taken a bit of a time out. This is money coming in fast and going out just as quickly. Fast changes regarding money or an unexpected turn. Excuse me. I do feel like there's been a bit of a turn for you, but it's allowing you to become more expansive is what I keep hearing, that word, expansiveness for you. And if there has been rejection, if there has been setbacks in some way, it was spirit clearing the path for what's to come. I'm also hearing the name Buster and the name Randy. Do you still enjoy what you are doing, Taurus? Do you still enjoy it, or is it draining? Some of you, it's burnout. It could be perfectionism. It may even be that need for a new approach because there's been some sort of setback here. Taking one step forward to take two steps back. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. So if you've been pushing through, hoping for different results, the message here is to go inward, listen inward. It's not about pushing through anymore. It is about approaching things from a new angle, calling in your angels to help you with this so you can shed the old ways of doing things, because the old ways of doing things are no longer working for you. Your first tarot card out, the Page of Swords. This is using the mind, the power of the mind here with this page. Now, Page of Swords is ready for a new challenge. He is curious. He is a fact lover. He's like a little private investigator. He's going to go out and search for the truth, the whole truth. What does he need to learn at this time? He is very inquisitive. He is curious. I feel like this is also part of you going inward, to figure it out. I feel like you're getting answers to your complacency or to some sort of slump or whatever has been the cause of procrastination here in some way, or there's been maybe a holdup or a suspension. I feel like this is you finding answers because something is already stirred up and you want to jump into it because you're like, now's the time. 5 of Swords crossing your path. The 5 of Swords can be a jealous, envious, poor sportsmanship type of vibe. 5 of Swords is someone taking advantage. It can be selfish energy, manipulation, deceit, resentments. I feel like you are, again, instead of pushing through all of this, I feel like you're taking a look at it and saying, what am I meant to learn? What is this trying to tell me? 5 of Swords. There may be triggers showing up for you this month, but the triggers are gifts. If you can look at it and hold up a mirror and ask, is this a reflection of something going on within me? How can I expand my thinking instead of doing the same thing over and over and causing myself to stay in this Five of Swords? The battle of the ego is basically what's below you, Taurus. You have the Ten of Pentacles, legacy. You've been building something quite wondrous, quite magical for yourself or your family. A lot of you have built your life up in some way. You have money in retirement, or perhaps you've been taking care of your family. There could be an investment. There could be an inheritance. This may also be part of that waiting on a return. Okay, you have been creating this for years and years. The Pentacle realm is the slowest moving realm. This is years. And I just see that you are on that precipice, that cusp to seeing that return of premium or return on an investment. You may even be shifting around life insurance, wills. You may be looking at IRAs, long-term accounts here. Possibly teaching yourself how to work smarter with your money. I feel like you may want to retire early, or you want to expand upon a business idea so you're not working in the corporate world your whole career life. It feels like you've been putting on your thinking cap basically, and you have the star showing up in the recent past. This is beautiful. The star comes after the Tower. This is Aquarian energy of expansiveness, but it's also about your wishes being granted. It is a brighter future ahead for you, and you may have felt stuck somewhere along your journey, which we often do, right? Give yourself grace, give yourself compassion, because these things are inevitable. We do come across roadblocks from time to time. And you have the star here, meaning this dream of yours, this Ten of Pentacles that you have set in play many, many moons ago, you're going to start to see that, yeah, there's some things that you may be shifting into in order to let go, right? In order to shift into something new, you must let go of something that was. You're being asked to expand your thoughts, your mindset, your belief system, your scarcity mindset even. Because you see that there's one fish and its belly up there on the star. So as above, so below. Something may not have worked out, but it actually did work out in your favor. You may not see that now, or you may start to see evidence of it, because I see this offering coming in, but it feels like there was a blessing in disguise for you. And what's crowning your energy? The Hermit. We are in a 9-year, which is the Hermit's major arcana. This is about introspection. That was the message that came through in the very beginning. Instead of pushing through, it's time to listen inward. That's what the Hermit does. He gains some solitude. Instead of letting the deadlines and the pressures and the contracts and, whatever is draining you, whatever is burning you out, I feel like you're taking either a mental health day or week or month, whatever you're able to do here, and you're reflecting instead of letting the external consume you. And that is a very important message, as it's showing up twice. Now, in the near future, we do have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is showing up in reverse, all right? Because you are sitting in that Hermit. The Hermit energy is going to allow you to shift angles, or angels in this case, right? You're calling them in. But it's basically cutting ties, moving on. It's the quest for something deeper, more meaningful. Right now, you may be feeling a tad bit disconnected, because there is a need to leave something behind. And that was, again, your very first message about this slump, or this momentum isn't about lack of emotion. It's about shedding the old way of doing it because a new approach is coming up, but sometimes we circle around. We keep doing the same thing over and over, thinking that the new way is going to approach us, right? We think that the new path is going to just appear, but we have to shift that perspective. We have to be willing to walk through that portal, that doorway. And it feels like you've been circling around something here. The last 8 months could be significant, or perhaps the 8th month is big for you, August. I feel like if you do this now, right, if you fully move forward, I feel by August, there's going to be a major return on your investment. Whatever you're walking towards, I feel like you're going to find it here by August. And you may be thinking, Mel, it's March. I want it now. There's where your patience pays off. All right. What are you feeling? Knight of Swords. Yeah, you're feeling a little impatient here, which is understandable. But I also see you taking the Page of Swords and taking action. There's some information, there's some knowledge that's coming through here for you. When it comes to finances or money, some of you, March, April, May, perhaps you're putting in an offer here. You may be going towards, building up a business, launching a new idea, or expanding the mind. And you're going to see that slow and steady gets you there, but it's also about action and steady action at the same time. So your mind is in the right place. So if you feel like you are ready mentally, physically, financially, emotionally to move forward on this new quest, then absolutely go for it here. But I see here that the mind is really powerful, and it says, try not to make it harder than it has to be. Also by being too quick, all right, or too impulsive, because then we have to kind of come back around. And that may be why you're going in circles here, because it feels like there's baby steps, right? Baby steps instead of giant leaps. And sometimes we need to break it down. And I see that's what you're doing here. All right, in your environment, you have the 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles is one of my favorites, but when she's in reverse, she can become very, very independent, like my way or the highway. She can even be feeling drained with the life that she's created. Because when she's in the upright, she is enjoying that life. She is loving it. I feel like you do love what you do, but because there's been pressure, there's been deadlines, or there's been that slump that we said isn't really a slump. It's about shedding an old way of doing things. I feel like that's what's happening here. So you can get back to, well, I don't want to say back because we're not going back, remember? So you can get towards, so you can move towards that expansiveness of taking life in another direction where you still feel like you're creating that life that you love, that life of abundance here. 9 of Pentacles is about individual achievement. Oh, some of you have been trying to go it alone. And the message here is saying you might need help. There may be a message around inviting someone into your space or your energy to guide you, to teach you, to counsel you, or mentor you. Yeah, if you've been independently owned and operated, if there's something you've been doing on your own, you may be needing to expand physically by hiring help or asking for help signing up for a class, like taking it physically to the next level. That's a really powerful message coming in here. Now, the hope and fear, Taurus, is the 6 of Pentacles. Who doesn't want reciprocity, right? Everyone wants that equal exchange, but not everyone is willing to do what it takes to get that. And I feel like there's an offer here because you have some good feedback, some good juju coming your way, some good karma. You've been putting in the effort, but I also feel like you're going to get that return. Yeah, the return on your investment, your contract, your promotion. And if it's not in the same path that you've always been on, then be brave, right? Brene Brown, Braving the Wilderness is a book that she has, and it just came to my mind's eye. So perhaps that could be something you look into if this reading is resonating. But be brave and courageous as you are on this new quest, this new path. You're being boldly and courageously guided to use your creative angels and approach things from a more expansive way. And by doing so, there's the reciprocity. There is the I scratch your back, you scratch mine, but it's also about what you give, you also receive. You see that there is a witch standing there in the middle, and she is handing out a bread basket with fruit and vegetables. She's giving the coins to this other boy, and they are very grateful. So I feel like there's an acknowledgement here, whether you are the one giving or you are the one receiving. Gratitude is the key. Gratitude brings more of it. So if you have been feeling lack of or scarcity mindset in some way, put some boundaries around that in the mind and try to shift that perspective, shift from a more creative angle and say, wait a second, there's plenty. There's plenty to go around. I have what it takes to be acknowledged, to receive the abundance that I want. I've worked hard for it. It's flowing. I feel like the kink in the abundance hose has been stifled in some way. And it feels like you are creating that balance this month where it's free flowing. There's more of a flow of abundance coming in here. That's your hope. And by focusing on that hope, that is how you are going to see the world. But if you focus on the reverse of the Six of Pentacles, right? This is overgiving. It's codependency. It is needing boundaries because people are pushing and crossing into them, and it's leaving you feeling pressured, drained, exhausted. Then that is going to be the lens, the view in which you see the outer world. So take a look and see, how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel? That's that mirror being held up in the face of ego or adversity or conflict or challenge. Perhaps you're asked to approach those things from a new perspective. Your final outcome here, Taurus, is the Temperance card. The Temperance angel, right? Beautiful. This is patience. It is moderation, self-control. It's balance. It's also Sagittarian energy, so it's fire. So for those of you who felt like that fiery creative energy has blown out, no, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. It's still lit within you, but you are being asked to take a new approach to keep that fire lit, right? How can you expand that fire instead of restricting it? I'm going to keep saying that because that's the message here. I'm also feeling like your health or your diet or your exercise, there's a big message around moving the body. So often when we feel stuck, stagnant, or complacent, it's so important to move the body, whether it's through dance, through yoga, even allowing the body to just kind of do its thing sometimes. Sometimes you just want to shake a leg. Okay, that sounded weird, but you may want to just shake the body or, start dancing or start moving the head in a certain way or your hands. Allow the body to move. Okay, I see that showing up here for you. Make sure that you're eating foods that also fuel your body. You see that she has the cupcakes and the martini next to her, but she also has the carrots and the water. Finding balance internally, externally, and those two coming together to collaborate. Those two meeting in the middle instead of feeling disconnected because we're not feeling grounded, we're not feeling balanced. You're bringing it all together here. You see that she's standing there in tree pose. This is about not just balance, but it's about you being able to listen inwardly. And that's the big message for you. Let's get a message from the wisdom of the oracle. What do we have for Taurus? You have TikTok. There's a lot of messages around working smarter, like timing. You have the Temperance here. It's also card 30. The 30th of March could be significant for you. All right, and the message is about timelessness, divine timing, and immeasurable time. Your prosperity is co-created by your endeavors as they occur in human-made time and the eternal efforts of your most important manifestation partner, Spirit, in a divine, measureless time. So keep doing what you're doing. Stay positive and make a commitment to remain in high vibration thoughts and feelings. If you heed the message of this card, it will seem as if you will align with your highest calling and your highest good in no time at all, like magic. So what's all the fuss about not having enough time? The prosperous life that is yours will never, ever pass you by. Remember earlier I said pressure to meet deadlines? You see the clock here is scattered. For those of you that feel like there's so much on your to-do list, or perhaps you have a lot going on, or you've been again waiting, or you've wanted a new approach here, this is saying take a look at your schedule, your time management. Schedule times in for you to heal, for you to play, for you to learn, for you to dance. Make sure that your calendar, even if this is mentally or digitally, make sure that you are scheduling time for listening inward and not just pushing through the demands of your responsibilities. Have you been feeling as if the clock is ticking and you've gotten a little nervous that your dreams are taking too long to manifest? There's nothing to fear. You will never run out of time for the important things. The miracles that are yours and yours alone can't be missed. Isn't that amazing? You are in such capable hands with guides and angels hovering in the invisible spaces, ensuring that your journey will be filled with all sorts of goodies. Let your anxiety be gently dispelled by your faith. Spirit will never deny you your highest good. All is yours in divine, appropriate timing. You can relax. And that's what I'm getting here for you, because the chaos of the Five of Swords is causing a lot of stress. It's causing a lot of tension. And I feel like the way in which you're approaching this may be different, right? It may be mentally from a more balanced state of mind. Instead of fight or flight, right? Instead of defense mode going up, or instead of avoiding it altogether, there's something to learn here with the teacher, and there is an offering coming in for you. All right, let's get a few messages here, Taurus, from your spirit animals. And at this time, if you can safely do so, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, your belly area. Hold it as long as you can and release through the mouth with a nice deep sigh. And with your eyes still closed, tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first animal that shows up in your mind's eye. Now this could be an animal that flies high in the sky or swims deep in the sea. Perhaps your animal is wild, magical, mystical, or even domesticated. This could be a pet that you have at home, one that's crossed over the rainbow bridge, or maybe even crossed your path recently in the great outdoors. There is no right or wrong answer, Taurus. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop your animals, whether you have 1 or 5, drop them below in the comment section and I will enter you into the free reading giveaway. All right, beautiful. Taurus, koala was the animal that I seen in my mind's eye. And you have it showing up here. Koala reminds you that spirit has a plan. And the message that I was getting as I seen koala was compassion. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself grace for choosing, for one, to be a part of this empowering time in history here on earth. You chose to incarnate into this time, which is a big, bold, courageous act in itself. Trust that spirit has a plan. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself grace. Card 35. Some of you may be 35 years old, 45 years old. You may be born on the 12th or the 4th. So koala spirit is your first one out. We have parrot. Watch your words. Your words can be a big part of your reality. That's why spells, spelling is spells basically, because we cast upon spells based on the words that we tell ourselves. This can be the words that you speak to yourself with, the words that you tell others. It's also a message of listening to other people's words and maybe the intentions behind them. Parrot spirit, communication is significant. Be mindful of scarcity mindset here, okay? Because there could be some fear-based energies that are trying to creep in because of that 5 of Swords. And I feel like it's important for you to, again, have that compassion and grace and kindness as you move forward. Most importantly, to yourself. Because when you're kind to yourself, you can't help but be kind to others around you. You have canary spirit. Sing your own song. Sing your own song. March to the beat of your own drum. This is about you speaking up. It's about you creating a life that you love. It's about you choosing the goals that are in your highest good instead of maybe listening to what other people thinks what's best for you or what you've been conditioned to believe by society or institutions. It's important for you to tap into your own intuitive wisdom. And that was another theme that kept popping up. Instead of pushing through, go inward. And then we have card 4, Badger. Be fearless and bold. And that came through for you earlier as well. Be fearless and bold as you embrace the next chapter, the next journey of your life. As I mentioned, you are on the precipice of great change. There is an offer coming in here. The universe is going to meet those needs. So we don't have to circle around over and over. We don't have to reverse that 8 of Cups. We can move forward into personal growth and discovery, into something deeper and more meaningful, but we have to leave behind something in order to grow. And final message here. Remember the shaking of the leg comment earlier, or the body? Well, here's your reminder. How does your body want to move today, Taurus? When we move, we change our state and raise our vibration. This new elevated state becomes a channel for more energy. Are you moving your body daily? Are you passionate about it? Is it time to try something new? There's your new approach. This can help you feel expansive, not restrictive. So if you haven't moved your body in a while, that could be a huge benefit for you by incorporating this into your everyday routine, your weekly routine. How does your body want to move today? I love that. That came up earlier. Your body is trying to tell you something. Whether your body wants to quite literally shake it off, right? Shake something off, shake off the trauma, the tension. I've recently started to play around with TRE, which is basically the body's tremor responses. It's very interesting. You may want to look into that if you're curious. But your body is moving and wants to move that excess energy. If you've been needing, that creative angle or angels, call them in to assist you moving the body. Listen and joyfully do so. That is what I have, Taurus, for your career and money reading for March 2025. If this resonates, please hit the thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Thank you so much for being here. Lots of love.